right, Halloween is right around the corner, and the average American family will spend just under $8 on candy overall. The country will spend about $2.3 billion, making this a record-breaking holiday for the candy industry. Now, what we want to know is what hidden toxins you'll be giving out to innocent children this Halloween. I'd like to welcome the nutrition chef, Alex Fioroni, to the show to tell us about the hidden dangers of chemicals and toxins found in popular candy. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me once again.
Oh,
I enjoy being here. And like you said, here's these companies making all this money, but what about all the things that's happening to our children and to us as adults from eating some of this so-called fun candy?
I know, and kids love Halloween, and I just dread it because I'm like, oh, the candy. My kids, thankfully, I've trained them since they were early just to have a little bit every day.
Yes.
I think I have Halloween candy from last year. Like, they never finish it.
Well, that's the biggest thing, I think. A lot of the parents I talk to, because I do a lot of, I talk to parents because being a nutrition expert and chef, and I think about 90% of parents actually will take away more than 50% of the candy once the kids get home and throw it in the garbage anyway.
Or they give it to the overseas guys, right?
Yeah, or they give it to people. Yeah, all of a sudden, exactly. Which is
like, I don't know if that's such a good idea too, but oh well.
They need more health than we do.
They certainly
sustained energy.
But there are so many hidden. Forget the sugars, which are poison to your body, and the preservatives. And there's hidden toxins that people need to know about. There used to be lead.
There used to be lead. There used to be a lot of ingredients that we're very aware of, which is your hydrogenated oils, your high fructose corn syrup, food coloring, but there are some top ones that shouldn't be allowed in the body that are really toxic to the point where they're being banned in other countries. Where there has to be warnings on labels if it's in there because it can cause adverse health complications.
Wow.
And the top three are yellow number 5. Red 40.
Red 40's been a big problem
really
with
bad.
kids with ADHD, autism. They've linked
really,
it to it.
In cardiovascular disease, and all of them correlate to cancer. All these
that's the
toxins
one
correlate to cancer.
common denominator.
Is cancer. So it just shows you if your body is. We all have cancer cells. It's just a matter when they turn on and they turn off, and it's all about our lifestyle. And so if we all have them, and we're putting all these foods into our body, and on top of that we have a very polluted soil, very polluted environment, a lot more stress. We're not eating raw fruits and vegetables like we used as a nation. So when we take that into effect, then we're putting all these toxins into our body and supposed to make it fun for our kids. It's really not fun at the end of the day because these kids are going to have diabetes. The obesity rate in children is rising every year. So that's why as parents, I think if we don't make a difference and step up to the plate, not only our children, but our children's children are going to be affected.
I know, and who doesn't want to be a good parent?
I know.
And it's like we've always programmed our kids, oh, you don't feel good, you got a shot. Well, here's a lollipop.
Exactly.
Did you have a bad day in school? Here's some candy or ice cream.
And the way you look at it is we're drugging them.
You think you're doing something good, but you're not. You're teaching them that not only, okay, so I'm so against candy, but you're teaching them to have, emotional food disorders. Like that becomes a way to comfort them.
An emotional attachment. Yeah. And I can speak being a parent and having as many kids as I have is that with Halloween for me, my kids get more excited that I get into Halloween myself as a parent. I like to dress up and have fun and do fun cooking at home with healthy things. And so whatever you put in front of your child and you mimic as an adult, they're going to follow you.
Right.
So if you're going with the flow of this bad candy, you're not doing your child any benefit, and as an adult too, you're going to also be struggling. He's in the office, everywhere you go, the bank right now, anywhere you walk today there's candy. So as an adult,
but you know what? I'm not even tempted because it's been such a lifestyle of mine not to eat candy.
Yes.
That
Candy's a drug.
I just turned it off mentally that I'm done. Now, if there was a good glass of red wine, I would be different. Okay, so what candy is the biggest culprit?
I think the biggest culprit you can see on the right here, I have your traditional candies that a lot of people are going to grab because they got the nice big bags. You feel like you're saving money. You got a lot of variety, but all of these candies.
Is this a Costco bag, by the way?
No, this is actually a store that you would think is healthy, but they also sell unhealthy things, just not as bad.
Right.
But the three denominator in all of the candy here that you'll see, they all have yellow number 5 and yellow number 6. Which is a huge culprit for asthma now. That's why there's actually, in 2013, we just passed a law in the U.S. that we have to put that it causes asthma on the label. Then you have partially hydrogenated oil. Here you go. You take a nice healthy fat, strip it of its nutrients, and add hydrogenated atoms to it so that increase shelf life and it has a high resistance to heat, so they can bake it at whatever temperature they want to get it out of the oven and into a package. So nothing to do with our health.
No.
You know, all to do with production and shelf control.
They don't care. It's a numbers game. They just want the moolah.
But we do as parents, and I think, you know, to make a movement, the only way it's going to change is we have to start making better choices. Because eventually, if we put our foot down, these companies are going to change. We're already seeing it happen.
Yeah.
Companies are changing. They are, you know, seeing that we're getting more educated, and we know that this is not something we want to put in our body because we don't want to be in a doctor's office for the rest of our life.
Right.
And so there is a movement.
You know, the deal is you just don't buy it.
You just don't buy it.
You know,
You
consumers
go
have
over
that
here to the
power.
left, you know?
It's all about the moolah. What
And
is?
so that's the common three:
Yeah.
is the red 40, the yellow number 5 or 6. They're basically the same, and then also the partial hydrogen or hydrogenyl. If you look at an ingredient as a chef as well, chocolate is very simple. It should have 3 ingredients, just like bread. So if you see more than 4 or 5 ingredients in a label right away, it's nothing to look at. And you know what's even more ironic is a new ingredient that I've come across, and I've been doing this for almost 16 years, is PGPR. It's basically a new ingredient in chocolate where they're stripping the chocolate out of chocolate.
So they can make more mass.
Yeah, it's a natural,
So
it's a chemical emulsifier. You know, it's such a big word that I had to write it down.
I know, I was looking at it, I'm like, polyglycerol.
Polyglycerol polyryncolicate. I can't even pronounce it myself.
Yeah, that's
but
a problem. If you can't pronounce the ingredient, don't put it in your body, right?
Exactly. You know, so here we are thinking that, you know, we're eating chocolate, but we're just eating a big, huge emulsifier filled with chemical.
Is that why
emulsifier.
chocolate, like that, this kind of cheaper chocolate tastes like wax a lot?
It does.
Yeah.
If you really, because you look over here, this is just natural chocolate. You know, you look at the ingredients here. You're looking at.
Well, we're gonna do.
You know,
we're gonna take a break though, and we're gonna come back and talk about the alternatives you could you could pass out.
Yeah,
to
it's not like you need to
innocent
eliminate
children.
everything. There is
Yeah.
other ways we can improve the Halloween locker room.
So let's
you
take a
know.
quick break. When we come back, we'll give you alternatives to have a better Halloween. We'll be right back.